Use the inventory form to add, edit, manage, and delete your inventory items. Use the drop-down control to select an item to work with as an example. I'll type in clothing, and then I'll pick the sneaker item. To enter a new item, click the New Record button in the lower left corner. A blank form opens up. Choose the category. For this example, I'll again choose clothing. Enter the quantity. This will be 1, description, sweatshirt, cost new. I'm using the tab key to leave the fields. Estimated value, always start off with a 0 value. Purchase date, I'll use the date picker and say I bought it today. Tab key. I could point to a photo in the database if I wanted to. I could also pick a beneficiary from my Who list if I wanted to. I'm going to skip that at this time. To save this record, use Shift-Enter key. This item now appears at the very end of our list to put it where it belongs. Resort the entire list by using Shift F9. So I'll use Shift F9. Now, if I open the drop-down, there's our sweatshirt at the very beginning of a list. I want to point out that the group item is after the sweatshirt item. That's because the date on the group item is December 31st, 2015. To put this in the right order, I would really need to go to the group item and change this date to 16/2016. Tab key. Save it. Again, Shift F9 resorts to the list. I go back to my clothing drop-down. Here's group and here's the sweatshirt. Let's navigate back to our sweatshirt item. If I want to change this like, I want to add a color, we'll type in blue. I can save the change by clicking on this bar, or again, Shift-Enter. If at some point down the road, I wear the item out and throw it away, or I lose it, I can remove it from displaying in the list by clicking Hide Item. As a best practice, I never delete a record from my inventory as I like to know what I've always bought. But if I get rid of it, I'll use the Hide Item checkbox. Again, I'll save that change. Now, if I use Shift F9 to resort the list, and I go back here to my drop-down and type in clothing, my sweatshirt doesn't show up. That's because it's been removed from showing in this list. Off camera, I've added the blue sweatshirt back to this list. We'll go find it. There it is. Now, if I wanted to delete this instead of hide it, I would make a selection in this large bar that's called the record selector. And then I would delete it by using the delete key on the keyboard. Say yes at this prompt. That item is gone, and the next item in the list is displayed. Over time, as you add more items to your inventory list, the number of items you have to work with can become quite large. To make it easier to work with this form, you can filter the list to a subset of what's available. To do a filtering, for instance, let's suppose I only want to see items in the clothing line. I can go up here to the filter item and click Selection. Clothing. Now, the only items that are available are clothing items. And if I use the record selectors to cycle through the records, I'm only going to see clothing items. However, if I open up the drop-down, all the items are still listed. That's because the drop-down is not being filtered itself, just the items that show in this part of the form. Another way to use the filter is to click in a field and look for a keyword. I'm going to click in the description field here, then I'm going to go to Filter, Text Filters, and I'm going to say contains, let's say sweatshirt. Okay? Now, I only have 2 sweatshirt items available. If I cycle through them, there they are. To clear the list and unfilter it, click this button. Another use for filtering is for advanced filtering combination. For example, let's click on Advanced up here and choose Advanced Filter Sort ELAR. There's a couple of previously used filters. I'm going to select both of those and clear them with the Delete key. Then I'm going to filter using category name, and I'm going to filter using the Who column. And under category, I'm going to say I want to see category items that are hunting, and I want to see any item where there's a beneficiary designated. So that would be who is not blank, and that's double quotes. I'll use the down arrow to save that, and then I'll toggle the filter. And I see there are 2 items in that category. As filtered, I'm going to unfilter. We'll close this by returning to the main menu.